LootUp is a blockchain-based payment app. And with me is the CEO and founder, Justin Waiau, to explain about LootUp. We'll talk about your other project, Legacy, too. But let's start with LootUp, because that's your fresh, kind of new project that you're doing, right? Explain how it works.
So LootUp is, as you said, a payment app. We recently merged it with an OTC market company called Quantum International Corp. So basically what it is, it's a payment app built on Legacy Network. And so we have all the advantages of Legacy Network onto the payment app.
Okay,
Yeah.
so why would I use LootUp instead of, say, Venmo or PayPal?
So when you use Venmo, you're actually giving your money to Venmo, they're holding on to it, and then you transact within their ecosystem. And then when you're taking it back into your bank, you take it out. But while it's in their ecosystem, they have a custody, right, of your funds, and then they can freeze it, they can trap you out of your account. And
now, is that similar to what we're seeing with some of these crypto lending firms? Like, that they're taking people's deposits and using them for whatever, because it's a non-custodial account?
Yeah, they're taking your funds like a bank would and reinvesting it into other things. And next thing you know, as you've seen in the market, they're insolvent and you can't get your funds and you didn't do anything, it's not your fault. But and that's where we differ on our payment app. Yeah.
So tell me about the market. Has the crash in crypto, I think it's fair to call it a crash, has that affected LootUp's growth or your ability to gain interest in the business?
It's affected us, but in a positive way, I feel, because I feel like it's draining the swamp of of the crypto projects. There's so many scams. There's so many companies that are over leveraged. So although we don't like seeing people lose money and we don't wish any bad ill on any other projects, it's actually been good for us because we've been taking developers from other projects. We've been acquiring certain projects. So it's actually been good for us.
Yeah, interesting. This is the time you're building.
Exactly. It's been a very good time to build.
So there's a lot of the issue was the API, very high APIs in some or APYs in some cases, where people they were promising, oh, you get X, whatever, 30, 50, even 100% or whatever on your money, which sounds enticing, but that was how do you handle that whole APY situation?
So our opinion on it has always been, it's unsustainable. And during the bull run and the market's peak about a year ago, everybody was kind of looking at us on Legacy Network, and they were saying, like, you guys should up your APY, and all this stuff, and we're like, it's not sustainable, it's, and now we're kind of seeing the fallout of all of that. Without mentioning names, there's been a lot of crashes.
Yeah, no, we all know. They've watched the news. How does it tie into the Legacy Network than your other project?
So the way LootUp ties into Legacy is there's a blockchain and dApps, and you need a blockchain to build your dApp on. So I actually started LootUp years ago, and we just couldn't find a chain that we really liked, so we ended up developing Legacy Network. And that's kind of how they're both the same.
So LootUp is a dApp on the Legacy Network.
Exactly.
So you really so you created the Legacy Network, and then you created LootUp to build on that.
Exactly.
Do you think you might do some other dApps?
We're developing a lot of dApps on Legacy Network, but on my end, LootUp's been my goal the entire time. So our other developers on Legacy Network will have their own separate dApps that they've been building Legacy for as well.
What are some key features of LootUp?
So some key features in LootUp that differ from crypto projects is normally a wallet on crypto is a little too hard for mom and pop to use. So the way we're making it different is instead of long addresses, we're sending to usernames. We're doing something called sponsored gas, which makes it so you can send the token you want without having to use the gas to send it. So we sponsor that gas, and you can use one token to send. There's other things like we're sending invoices with the transactions. You can confirm and cancel your payments, so there's no risk of accidentally sending it to the wrong person, and just, a lot of little things like that.
Yeah,
Whitelisting
this one's very
accounts.
handy. So a business or an individual could sign up for LootUp now?
We are launching hopefully within the next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do they do that? How would they sign up for that?
So all you need is for the basic account, you just need an email and a password.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Justin. I always learn something when you're in, so it's great to see you.
Yeah, thank you. You too.